This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel this afternoon. And let me tell you, it's almost this evening. It's 5:57 as I sit down to record this. Did a little bit of math, have done a little bit of junior B work today, and here we go, ready to talk some Edmonton Oilers. Discussion that's cropped up after that Las Vegas Golden Knights game. That's the game we're talking about. My goodness, where am I on the calendar? It's mid-March and the Oilers are in a playoff race. That's where we're at. So here we go. What do we got to talk about? Well, we talked all last night and all through this morning about the Leon Draisaitl conundrum, overtime ice time, Dave Tippett, team-wise, Draisaitl being accountable, that kind of thing. And that's played out. That was played out by about 10 o'clock this morning, right? No, everybody had their fun last night. My goodness, everybody lost their minds on Twitter and then realized, why are we complaining? We're complaining about Draisaitl. You can't do that. And of course, yeah, if it works, it ain't broke. Don't fix it kind of thing. Well, simply put, right? That just puts that issue to bed and we don't worry about it till the next game we lose in overtime. And I mean, we've got 12 more games that we could possibly lose in overtime. And then suddenly, if we're there at the end of the year, we're on to 5-on-5 overtime and it becomes less pressing. End of the day, right? So, forget about that one. Now we're back on the old, we need to get some more power play chances here. And it's not that we need to generate, move our feet. We need to do a better job at drawing calls, this, that, or the other thing. It's, again, the simple fact of the Oilers just don't get enough power plays. The Oilers can't get a whistle from the ref. The Oilers can't do this. And I mean 100%. You know me. I love complaining about that. And if you've ever watch that replay of that Dallas live stream, you would know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about I love to complain about the refs, the whistles against the Oilers, that kind of thing. Problem is, we're in this weird situation here, and I think I have it in a little bit of a graphic here for you, just a visual to make your life easier, make my life easier, and kind of get explained what I'm going to explain to you off of the NHL.com website, because this is the hot button issue as of about 5 o'clock this evening. So let me get to it. I'm probably missing it being the hot button issue, but simply put, the Oilers are the 11th lowest shorthanded opportunities in the NHL this season at 2.84 times per game. Now, 100%, I went and double checked these numbers, and this is kind of some kind of Twilight Zone situation here for the Oilers, because on one hand, we're complaining. The other hand, we should also be sitting here thinking, well, how is one equal the other, right? And that's where we're going with this 11th lowest power play opportunities at 2.84 times per game. I think it differs by one penalty per game either way. I think times shorthand is like 199 and times it's 199 and 199, I believe. I had the stats a second ago. I can't find them. They were on Hockey Reference. The stats I'm using off of good old NHL.com, my arch nemesis. Yeah, so 199 power play opportunities. Well, if that equals 2.84 in 70 games, then of course 199 would be your penalty chances. So in that weird situation, right? League average is about 205 apparently. That's kind of what they queue up. And realistically, right, you talk about the teams that have gotten less power play time than us, and you talk about some of the players they have. The Buffalo Sabres, well, they got Jack Eichel. That's a pretty good player, and I mean, to a degree, a lot of people thought he could be as good as Connor McDavid, so why isn't he getting many calls? Calgary Flames, well, they've got Gaudreau, Monahan, Lindholm, Brody, Giordano, those guys, right? They've got their cast of characters. We all know them. We don't need to give them airtime. Toronto Maple Leafs, 190 power play opportunities. Okay, well, the league's Golden Boys have less than, or 9 less power play opportunities than the Oilers. Okay, all right. Los Angeles, 189. Well, it's Los Angeles. They aren't doing anything anyway. Columbus, 189. They're right in the thick of the playoff race. We beat them the other night, though. San Jose, 186. It's San Jose. The Vegas Golden Knights. Okay, this is interesting that nobody's asking about this. Is they've had 191 power play opportunities, which is 8 less than the Oilers. Okay. Montreal Canadiens, 184. Anaheim Ducks, 181. And the fastest skater in the NHL, his club, via the All-Star break. Let's not discuss fastest skater in a live game. New York Islanders and the Matthew Barzal show, 165 power play opportunities. So that just gives you an idea of where the Oilers are sitting. I'm not trying to be condescending with this. I'm just trying to take a breath, relax, and realize where we're sitting in these standings when it comes to the power play opportunities, right? We're technically, I mean, some of those teams, pretty dandy teams, and they've got some pretty big superstars as well. So the thing is, I think when I think about the Oilers don't get enough power play calls, I think straight up any Oilers fan that says that, their first thing is Connor McDavid. And that's what I'm trying to eliminate here. What I'm trying to eliminate right here is the simple Connor McDavid effect. Is, you know what, if they called penalties on superstars every time it was a penalty, every team would be on the, like, it would be 2 minutes power play, minute 45 power play, bada 60-minute hockey game. 90% of it would be played on the man advantage or short-handed. That's it. That's how it would be. That's how it would go. Is we would be playing man advantage, short-handed, man advantage, short-handed. There's some games in the NHL that are like that, yes. But if you call everything on absolutely everybody, it's going to be nuts. And especially you call it on the superstars. Now, am I against doing that? No, because realistically, at the end of the day, players are going to learn to play a different way if you start calling them on their bullcrap, right? Simply put, if you start calling them on ticky-tacky stuff, they're going to stop doing the ticky-tacky stuff, and you're going to play either a cleaner game, dirtier game, whatever, and you're going to find a whole different balance in the NHL. But right now, as it sits, the Oilers are in this perplexing situation of which they have spent the 11th lowest power play opportunities in the league with the league's best power play, right? You imagine where this team could be if we got even, okay, what are we talking? We're talking a power play percentage of, sorry, it updates every game because we either succeed or fail. 29.6. We didn't even get a power play against Vegas, and I know everybody's talking about the calls, and it just happens when we get no calls in a game that we all of a sudden start talking about it, because in a close game like that, a 29.6% power play percentage is going to really impact that game, especially given the way it unfolded with the penalty shortly after the Nuge goal. So let's just go 29.6 times, let's say 25 more power plays. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a total of 7 more goals. Tell me in an Oilers game this season, in regulation, right, when we've got 9 losses in overtime or a shootout, where 7 extra goals would come in different. Well, suddenly this Oilers team, in regulation, if they got those 7 different goals, well, they'd be 44 wins this season. They'd be at 44 wins, 88 points, and, well, technically speaking, 90 points because of the 2 extra overtime losses. Huh. Okay. All right. I get your point. Now, the 11th lowest shorthanded opportunities. This is where I think I'm just trying to bring it back to earth a little bit here, is all this outrage about not getting enough penalties called for us. Thankfully, we're not getting an astronomical amount of penalties called against us. That's kind of, it's give and take is what I'm preaching today, if you get where I'm going. Is it's simply give and take with what we're getting, right? Is some years power play gets us going, we're never on the power play. Some years we're always on the penalty kill, that kind of thing. This year we've got an 84.4% penalty kill. That is the best rated playoff team penalty kill, right? Technically speaking, because San Jose, top of the league, they are not a power playoff team. So let me get this time shorthanded. Let me just get this for you. The Oilers have spent the 11th fewest times shorthanded this season, in company with Arizona, Calgary, Toronto, LA, Pittsburgh, Florida, Buffalo, New York, Winnipeg, Columbus. So, hold on. Let me just name off all the Western Conference teams there. Calgary, Arizona, Los Angeles, and Winnipeg. So, all these Western Conference teams, you've got 3 Western Canadian teams that are the fewest shorthanded, right? Calgary, Winnipeg, Edmonton. And then you've got 5 Pacific Division teams. And then you've got the Winnipeg Jets in there as well. Okay. All right. So, here's what I'm going to throw at you. Is it maybe put that in the Pacific Division the referees just don't blow the whistle? Huh? I mean, we see it in our games every single time, right? But you talk about Calgary, Los Angeles, Arizona in there as well, right? Calgary, yeah, so four Pacific Division teams. And I mean, those four teams, or three of them, have been near the top of the standings all season long, right? Three teams that have been in the playoff hunt, playoff spots all season long. Okay, interesting. And I mean, at again, 2.84 times per game. So here's my question. If we want to get more whistles over to the refs, right, when it's a blatant missed call, does that mean we also have to give up more calls against? Right? You get where I'm going, right? Is we're sitting at these exact same paradox numbers where one side were the 11th lowest, the other side were the 11th lowest at the exact same efficiency. Okay. That's just numbers to chew on. That's literally all today's video is. There's no real argument here. There's no real this or that. It's just some numbers thrown your way for the sake of argument when you get into this discussion with somebody. Is look at it this way, right? The Oilers might have the league's best power play, all right, and they have the league's best playoff team as of right now, game 70, power play or penalty kill. So, both in the 11th lowest of their categories. What? I guys, I don't know how to sum this up. If you've just spent 12 minutes with me trying to make sense of what I'm saying, I don't know what I'm saying. All right, that's kind of the thing here. Is what I'm saying is I looked at these numbers, I did the math. You look at the numbers and it's on one hand we have every right to complain, but then you're talking league changes, this, that, and the other thing. And on the other hand, if you're looking at the right to complain, and then you look, well, if that means we have to give up more calls, we're no better off than we were in this situation, right? Is if you give up a call for every call you're going to get, just to have a call made on Connor McDavid, because the refs like to even it up, right? That's how it works in the playoffs usually, is one call evens up eventually, right? If you can't do that, the other team can't do that, and then it just either turns into a penalty fest, or if the refs decide, no, we're going to let that go, you can do it, one way or the other, right? So, I don't know. If somebody's got a solution here, let me know, because I look at these numbers and I really see no potent solution. I see some things that are wrong for sure, but what are you going to do, right? Is there a better system for this than we currently have? That's the question. I don't know. I'm raised on the current system, right? I wasn't raised on 80s hockey. I wasn't raised even on 90s hockey. I didn't come around until 2005, and by 2013 they had phased out the enforcer. So you tell me. That's all I'm going to say. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I haven't had a clue what I've been saying for the past 13 minutes. I'm going to upload this, go have supper, and I'll read your comments, and we'll have a great dandy night. I'm going to relax, kick back, and I will catch you in the next one.